It's like his soul is already imprinted there.
So this game's like Super Mario 64.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I was about to say, that reminded me of Super Mario 64 right there.
Anyway, here's where you can get the last, one of the endings.
Sleep on it.
You can't sleep on it because Gary is there.
Why can't you sleep on it?
It has a strange nostalgic smell.
How can something smell nostalgic? That doesn't make sense.
Smells like my socks.
Why
So-
are your socks nostalgic, dude?
Alright, so there is where you can find the black key. I'm doing a new new game plus.
So what difference does that make, though? Besides
I already
being
have the
able to
black
do
key, so it doesn't appear anymore.
it? Alright. But what does New Game Plus do besides unlock the extra dungeon?
It unlocks the true Art Gortena gallery, in which you can view all the paintings, all the stuff you viewed in Eve's adventure, unless you have Gary in unless you have Gary, because if it has question marks, it doesn't count.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't count if
What?
it has question marks. Y'all are confused.
Uh-huh.
Really?
What's this big mural, fabricated world? Isn't that the former gallery? So, how are we meant to jump into a painting? Oh, god damn it.
Wait, well, I've seen Mario do before. I could do this.
Yeah, the frame disappears and you can enter in. However, the gallery tries one last time to keep you in here. You would be suspicious too if you saw your fucking mother here, would you?
Hmm?
You would be suspicious if you saw your mother in a demonic gallery that wants to kill you. Yeah, your father's waiting too. I don't know, I never saw
And Gary doesn't even seem to notice her.
That's the thing. Gary does not see her.
Yeah, because isn't this another hallucination from Ib?
It's one last chance for the gallery to keep Eve here.
So, like, what this is teaching you is you should definitely follow random strange men you find, and not your parents.
There's like hilarious comics about that too. Go with your mother. Go with your mother.
Mom's
Go with
being
Gary.
threatening.
Do you want to never see your mother and father again?
Beep. Get over here.
Stranger danger.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to go with the stranger
You
danger?
don't
who's
remember
all-
what you were doing? Was that gallery just Castle Oblivion the entire time?
Yeah. Well, it did plainly
Well,
say
Nominate
that.
does like drawing a lot of things, so...
Well,
With crayons to boot.
oh god damn it. Well, the gallery did say that it explicitly does that. So, yeah. Did you saw all the endings, right?
Yeah, I saw all of them.
By the way, the room that had the fabricated world does not appear anymore for some reason. I don't understand that.
What do you mean it doesn't appear?
You saw that across the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just noticed it. For some reason, it doesn't appear anymore.
Was it ever there to begin with?
Yeah, it's like a fucking hallucination.
But whose phone?
Hold there, miss. You can't come back here. And yeah, since we got since we gave him the handkerchief, that's a good thing. That means best ending in the game. So you saw all the endings? Did you?
Not for Mary. Not
Yeah.
the best ending for Mary.
You saw all the endings. Did you, Evan?
Yeah.
Oh, Maddie.
Did you guys see all the endings?
No.
So yeah, there are like 10 endings, but one of them has a variation of 4 of them. And like, there's one that Eve stays alone in the gallery, which is probably the bad ending, I think, 'cause it's pretty sucky. There is this ending, the promise of reunion, where Gary and Eve remember and meet up another time. Another is Memories Crannies, where he doesn't remember anything and they just go on with their lives. Another is when
Eve? Your name is Eve.
Another is a neutral ending where Gary dies, Mary's dead, and Eve comes out alone, and you see Gary's portrait, known as Forgotten Portrait.
Yeah, it's where the hanging man portrait was.
It was so sad, man.
Yeah.
The most creepiest one was Together Forever, where
Yeah.
Mary actually gets out after Gary dies, and Mary becomes Eve's sister.
Yeah.
It's
at
kind of
any
scary.
rate-
There are 2 new endings that were added in a 1.4 patch. Oh, I remember it like some wavy flashback. It was wounded on the hand. And somehow, girl gave me her handkerchief. Why? A gift from Eve. Oh, thank the gods. So yeah, this is pretty hard. I think it's pretty touching.
Yeah.
Although the shippers of Eve and Gary are still going strong.
That's creepy. She's 9.
Well, it shows that they do it when Eve is like grown up. There's like
So
some.
creepy. She's 9.
Hey, there's some really good There's some really good fanfics out there.
It's like that. It's like freaking Card
What?
Captor Sakura. The teacher who's dating the little.
Yeah, the teacher. Yeah, the
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh my god.
Bonjour.
Well,
Okay.
it does, well,
Oh my god. So
I mean,
That-
sorry, that's weeb stuff.
yeah, that's weeb stuff. Sorry.
Weeb.
So
Weeb
the
talk.
so the last two endings is Welcome to the World of Gortena, which is basically
Hell.
when Gary fails the doll room. He becomes crazy and just stays there in the fetal position.
yeah, and Ebe and Mary also stay there with him.
In hell.
Yeah, in hell. And the last one's the darkest ending. in
Yeah,
my
it's
opinion.
the one we talked about earlier, the doomed painting.
The
Oh,
painting's
yes.
demise.
Yeah.
It's so dark because when you see it through Mary's eyes, it looks so different. Because when you you can play as Mary and you can read the book that has the Mary page. It has all question marks. It's all question marks. She can't read it for
She
some
doesn't
reason.
understand.
It's like she became self-aware that she wants to go out and that she's a painting. That she doesn't accept that she's a painting. Yeah.
Oh, that's dark.
Yeah, that's really dark. Alright, final thoughts, everybody.
Well, I'd say this game was interesting for the story, and that's impressive you can make me say that, seeing how I rarely care for a story in a video game. I do like the interesting puzzles it has, although some of them can be painfully vague, but the lowest part, I'd have to say, I mentioned this before, is the soundtrack. It just doesn't stick with me that long.
Okay, Colin, you're next.
Yeah, well, the music is classical, and overall, classical music I'd say, is not the catchiest, but there are many pieces that are very catchy in classical music. But yeah.
Alright.
I like this
Oh,
picture
yeah.
here.
Yeah, I do like this picture right here.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, Hailey, what do you think?
I like this story because it's easy to sympathize with all three characters. The enemy is, and this is common to horror games, the enemy is the fear. The enemy isn't any one actual enemy within the game. And also, Richard, I'm leaving you for Gary, sorry.
Gary, your final thoughts?
I feel like this game was just super boring. Like, it needs multiplayer and like guns and like I don't like the cover system or the shooting system here.
And
that
it's
there's
also
no-
a sign of the feminazi regime that there were two
there's
female
no-
characters,
there's-
right?
there's no like cover-based shooting, which I don't like. And
Oh my god. What a bastard.
This is why I'm leaving you for
Yeah.
Gary.
RPGmaker games, man, don't have shooting usually.
Yeah, by the way, we have someone else with us here now.
I feel like it just really would have benefited from like some multiplayer, like a nice like deathmatch or something.
Okay, I know
No.
you're trying to be ironic, but I really want to smack you in your
Okay.
phone right
Yeah, can
now.
you give us your serious final thoughts now?
Oh, that was a good game.
It was a
very
good game.
very atmospheric. I liked, like, he doesn't try to go for startling as much as just very a creeping fear. And I like how it sort of it plays with the whole childlike perception of horror thing. Like, it's a lot of the fears are more like childish fears, like sort of like fears of
That
like.
may be, but this game makes me think that Ib's probably the bravest kid I've ever seen in my life.
But like it's almost like if you were a kid walking into a really weird art gallery and like you were just afraid of all this.
So you're
like,
saying if we
just-
never went to the haunted gallery and just saw the real thing, it would be the same thing to Ib's eyes?
Yeah.
Not so much that as much as like it sort of evokes the same amount of fear, like the same things where as a kid you just saw things that were really weird and you didn't.
Well, yeah, true. Ib did comment that the headless figure scared her.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are
It
some
also like needs more shooting, but
there are also things that were not really explained. Like, there's a reason why Eve fears the lady in red. It's because it looks like Eve's mother. And that...
This mannequin looks a lot like my mom. Get away!
I don't like my mom when she's angry.
Alright, for my final thoughts, I think this game is actually really good for its time. I think it's dropped a little bit in its standards because it looks like it aged kind of bad when it's with its graphics.
No, it honestly.
Well, it's an indie game,
It was
right?
if it came out in
Yeah.
2012, it was never meant to look like cutting edge graphics.
It's
Yeah.
RPGmaker.
Yeah, it's RPG.
Yeah, it's RPG.
I think it's
Maker.
impressive enough that they show emotional things like, say, Ib hugging Gary and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's still really good. I'd still recommend it. I love the music because Corelli's Opus 5 is my favorite. I love how ominous it can get, and I love how things just twist around and become creative with its creepy horror setting in the child's eyes.
And like, if anything for aging, I'd rather like graphics. If they try to go for like just pure visual edge, don't age well because eventually you just get something better. But this just had very good art design and cohesion with like everything fit together.
Exactly.
And I think that was more important.
There's a timelessness to doing all they could with the medium they had.
Well, in terms of graphics, here's another question. Cave Story, a very popular indie title, got a remake with updated graphics and stuff like that. Could you see Eve doing the same thing? And if you did, if it did, would you get it yourself?
That's the thing.
I think you wouldn't be missing out terribly if you weren't to get a remake. It would be interesting for hardcore fans of the game, but I think...
Oh, there are some hardcore fans out there.
Part of what makes the art and the atmosphere so terrifying is that, just by nature of the very simple graphics, some of it has to be left up to your imagination.
Well, that's true. There are some really hardcore fans out there. There's so much fan art. There is actually a petition to make an Eve 2.
Well, see, that's just it. It's all about the fan art.
Harder.
Yeah, Eve.
It's about the fan art. It's about what you come up with. It's no amount of quality graphics will ever match the terrifying images that you evoke in your own head while you play this game, and I think that's part of the beauty of it.
But
fans.
the number of pixels is the number of emotions.
Yeah,
according to David Cage.
Shut the fuck up,
You need more pixels. You can fit more emotions into
Everybody
the
tell
pixels.
Richard to shut up.
Richard, shut up.
Yeah,
Speaking of the fans, I took a quick look after we did Eve the first time. You would not believe how many fanfics and fan art there is.
That's the thing. That's
in fact, someone even made an anime.
Yeah, it made an
anime.
It made an audio dub.
Yeah.
And I think it's all right at best.
Well, when the artwork's good on it, it is pretty good.
Can I finish my final thoughts?
Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, this game, I think it's really good for the amount of paths that you can take, with the amount of stuff that you can do, the amount of stuff that you can see with other people's eyes is actually pretty darn impressive. Like the bunny room and all that.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, overall, a really well done game. It dropped a little bit in my standards as time passed on for other indie games like The Witch's House. I think The Witch's House looks really good, or Misao. We're not hinting at those games yet. We'll probably do the games next year though. Alright.
Okay, and I think the final thoughts is going to be 2 parts in itself at this rate.
Yeah.
Alright, Alright, let's cut down now.
If this fails, I am going to kill you.
Yeah,
me too.
Anyway, this is Gamer of Glory. I shall return, I think. Alright, see you guys then. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
We'll be back.
Bye, everybody.